Horatio Spafford was a businessman and lawyer from Chicago in the 1860s and 70s. He was a family man. He had a son and 4 daughters and a beautiful wife. Tragedy struck that family in 1871 when his son died of illness. Then later in that same year, November, the Great Fire of Chicago swept through and took out all of Spafford's businesses. In 1873, he said goodbye to his wife and 4 children, his daughters, as they left Chicago for the UK on a sailing ship. That ship met tragedy halfway across the Atlantic when it was rammed accidentally by a Scottish steamship. The boat went down, taking with it Spafford's 4 daughters. His wife was rescued, and when she made it to the UK, she sent a telegram to Spafford in Chicago saying, "All is lost, what shall I do now?" He boarded the next available ship, and when he was halfway across the Atlantic, he asked the captain to tell him exactly where that ship went down that had his wife and 4 daughters. And on the deck of that boat, he penned the words to the now famous hymn, "It is well with my soul." Those words go, "When peace like a river attendeth my soul, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast caused me to say, it is well with my soul."
When peace like a river attendeth my way.
We have staff who have lost loved ones to this virus. We've all been touched by isolation, restrictions, some kind of suffering to some degree. Where do we find contentment in this space? There's a secret that I'm trying to discover. It's written about by the Apostle Paul, or Saul as he was also known. He wrote about this secret of contentment that he had discovered. I want to discover it too. He knew suffering. He'd actually been shipwrecked. He'd starved on a remote island. He'd been imprisoned unfairly, a political prisoner. He'd lost friends. He'd been betrayed. He'd been lied to. He knew about suffering. So when he speaks about discovering the secret of contentment, I want to listen to that. These are the words that he said. I'll read them out. He said, "I have learnt to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learnt the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want." And then he said this, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." Christ, this universal power that we spoke about last week in the video, Friday's video. Christ, this heartbeat of all that is created, sometimes referred to as the Word, spoken by God in the beginning, the force behind everything. Somehow Paul says that the secret to contentment is found in Christ, and Christ is everywhere. It says, Paul also said this, he said, "There is only Christ. He is everything and is in everything." So the secret to contentment, Paul suggests, contentment, whether hungry or well-fed, whether a toilet paper supply of plenty, or whether you're starting to use leftover newspaper, whether you are sick or healthy, Paul says the secret to contentment is somehow found in Christ.
No more. Praise the Lord, oh my soul.
So the secret to contentment is somehow hidden in this universal Christ, revealed everywhere, but uniquely revealed in the person, the work, the teachings and the character of Jesus. Check it out.